Hello, my name is Marcy Calabretta, and I'm going to read a true story from the book Dying Testimonies of Saved and Unsaved by Solomon B. Shaw, titled, There is Light All Around Me. The noted evangelist, Mrs. Grace Weiser Davis, writes of her mother's translation to the Christian Standard for July 10, 1898, as follows. For 5 months past, I have cancelled all engagements and been a witness of the triumphs of the power of God to save amidst suffering and to cast out all fear that hath torment. My mother left us July 20th, aged 59 years and 7 months. She was born in York, Pennsylvania. She was converted at the same time as my father, just previous to my birth, in a revival that continued almost 1 year. Our home was always hospitably thrown open to ministers of the gospel. Mother would give them the best she could get and then apologize because it was no better. Hundreds can testify to the ministrations of this combination of Mary and Martha. After Father's death, Mother retained her homestead in York, Pennsylvania, but spent her time largely between my sister and myself, at least 8 months of the year being in my home. We brought Mother to Bradley Beach, hoping for a prolongation of the precious life. She was cheerful and planning for a continued life here. We shrank from telling her the truth, but God Himself gloriously revealed it to her. The doctors and ministers bore testimony to my own that it was the most glorious deathbed we ever witnessed. One day my mother prayed, "Dear Lord, prepare me for the country to which I am going." Before the close of the day, she was shouting the praises of God. From that time on, she talked of her coming translation and her faith so gloriously triumphant. On Sabbath, June 27, she had a day of wonderful exaltation. She said, "I have always hoped and trusted in God, but now I have a fuller realization than ever before." As we all wept, she said, "I don't realize that this is death. It is His will and is all right." To the doctor, she said, "Just think, doctor, to be forever with the Lord." No one could come into my mother's room thereafter without being spoken to by her upon this glory that was filling her soul. To me, she said, "Grace, God has given you gifts that few others possess. Let us pray that God will make you a weight of glory in the world. God has blessed you and will still more." One afternoon she said, "I am homesick for heaven." To the doctor, "Sometimes my way has seemed dark, but it was like the Ferris wheel. It always comes round to a point of light." Again she said, "I believe I will get awake sometime and find myself in a strange country to which I shall be translated." "Mother, it will not be so strange. Your father and mother and husband and little boy are there, and we are on the way," I answered. To one lately married, she said, "You are just beginning life. It pays to begin right. Everything you do for God is on compound interest. Compound interest. It will be doubly repaid you. I commenced to serve Him in the early life and consecrated my children to Him in infancy, and they are all Christians, and I am so happy." As I kissed her one day, she said, "We will rejoice together in Jesus in heaven." Her favorite words were, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me." Her favorite hymn, "Jesus, lover of my soul." The night previous to her death, she said, "There is light all around me." Until the last, she gave evidence of hearing, seeing, and understanding. I knelt within 15 minutes of her translation and said, "Mother, though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you need fear no evil, for God is with you. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow you, and you are going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever." There came a responsive smile. In a few minutes, she drew a gentle breath and was translated.